Hello everyone, this is Judith with another video, and we're talking about twin flames, and today it's all about the mother and the mother wound. As always, I've asked Spirit for some clarification, and we have different cards here. It says my every relationship can now feel better, and here we have I can reach for a better feeling thought. By my attention to things, I am making choices and relationships. I don't want clarified, those I do want. Yeah, so when it comes to our mothers on the twin flame journey, then it's all about abandonment and rejection, right? So if we have a mother wound, then it's very probable that on some level we have been rejected by our mothers. This can happen. I've said this several times before when, for example, the pregnancy is unwanted, and yeah, we cannot blame anyone for this. Is not rejection or abandonment is not always that your mother didn't want you, but at some point maybe she was scared because she didn't want that pregnancy, right? So there are degrees and differences to this abandonment and rejection, but as though this tiny being that we've been, we could not differentiate, and we could not, nobody could explain this to us. This was just a specific feeling, the feeling of to be abandoned and to be rejected. And as always, there is more than one thing to this, because of course we have experienced abandonment and rejection, for example, in past lives. Then we brought this into this incarnation, so we also contributed to this whole thing. That's my perspective on this. And throughout the course of our lives, we have then reenacted kind of this abandonment and rejection thing with various players in our lives to various degrees, right? So we kept going in circles until now we are here and we've met our twin flame, and now we are up to really do our healing and release those energies of abandonment and rejection, right? And there might be several things that we have to look at, right? For example, we are here in this balloon together with our mother. Now that's the mother team, right? The mother issue. We are here in the balloon together with our mother, and this is talking to me about soul family, about not about soul family, about family and ancestry, right? Those patterns of abandonment and rejection that might have been passed on, who knows how many generations, right? I know for sure that my mother, for example, she grew up during World War II. She was actually born in World War II, and then had to leave her country and her home at the age of 2. So and she, well, her mother, you can imagine when she realized she was pregnant in the middle of the war, well, guess how happy she was. So those wounds, right, they are passed on from generation to generation, and sometimes it really goes back a long time. And also when it comes to females, right, this is those patterns are always like patterns for the women in our ancestry. They've been passed on and on from one woman to the other, and this has there's so many wounds. You could think of for example of also of money, right? All the women in our ancestries that were not able to earn their own money, that were dependent either on a husband or on the family, yeah, there are so many stories around money and what is acceptable for us to do and what is not. Yeah, so we are together in this basket of family experience together with our mothers, and we have basically inhaled all of those things. Um, and that's what we do really when we clear. We also clear um, for the family and ancestry, for clan and ancestors, and that's serving many souls, right? And it's really freeing us up to yeah, to be in this unconditional love, because basically the relationship between mother and child is unconditional love. It's always unconditional love to a certain degree, right? But you could say it's mixed with some other energies, and we now those energies, now that we are in this on this twin flame journey and in this process, everything comes to the surface and wants to be looked at basically, and wants to be released, wants to be transformed. So energy never gets lost, right? It gets translated, it gets transmuted and transformed, but never lost. Yeah. So yeah, a long time we think that if we know what we don't want, then we get what we want, but that's not what it is. So a lot of the times we go against what our mother chose for herself. For example, in a relationship or in regards to her career, right? And we might not, like, we're maybe not appreciating that too much. You know, way back, I'm in my 50s now, and way back when I was a child, a lot of women chose to stay at home with the kids, and basically this was the choice that was the most accepted by society. And my mother did that, and I'm also I feel very blessed that she could do that actually. But of course there are many women who want to choose otherwise, right? And I am one of those who didn't. I made a mix then afterwards when it came to my kid, right? So I basically chose to continue my work, but also to be there for him. This was a priority in my life. And this was basically something that I've learned from my mother, and I didn't question that, right? But there are also other things that I learned from my mother, and I questioned them a lot, right? For example, when it comes to my relationship with my body. And so our mothers, they have their values, and they do not even have to speak about those values. They let us know in other ways, right? What is accepted and what isn't. Yeah, and so we have to balance, right? So there are so many good things, and there are so many bad things, and the thing with what doesn't feel good is that we get those mixed messages. That's what doesn't feel good, right? I love you, but you're not acceptable. I love you, but I don't want you to be overweight, right? For example. Yeah. And so those mixed messages, they really changed our perspective, right? Our perspective about ourselves. And there is also one thing that usually happens, that when you grew up in a family that was dysfunctional, and parents were like fighting, or other things where your mom was just affected. For example, maybe your mother was ill, but maybe she was also a victim to maybe a violent father, a narcissistic father, or whatever whoever that was. Maybe her parents were narcissists. So in some way you were on the team then when you were small with your mother, and you were inhaling her suffering. And when we are small, we do not differentiate between the experience of our mother and our own. So everything that happened to her basically happened to us. And so we usually, when we are small, and even when we are bigger, we never lose this. We care about how our mother feels. And this is one of the biggest wounds. If our mother is not well, if she's not really doing good, then that's big heartbreak to the children. And so, yeah, we've basically decided, very often made that decision to help her, right? And this is part of what this overgiving is, that we always want to help our mother. And basically we put our mother first. We have put our mother first way back when we were like very, very small children, let's say the first 3 years of our lives. So everything happened subconsciously, and that's, our perspective was really like upside down. Now we have to turn that back again, right? And be who we really are, and put ourselves first, and acknowledge that our mother is separate basically, and that she makes her own choices, right? This card is talking about choices. By my attention to things, I'm making choices. So she is here, your mother is here making choices, right? And you are no longer that baby that depends upon her, but really we all only depend on the divine, right? So, but it's one of the biggest heartbreaks that we can experience, to see that our mother destroys herself, maybe, for example, with a mother who has an addiction or something like that, or if someone else is destroying a person, right? Like in a narcissistic codependent relationship. As I always say, if you have that in your family, it would be so beneficial for you to educate yourself a little bit around that. There's so much on the internet. Maybe you find something that really resonates and get a lot of knowledge from that. It's really beneficial not to judge that, as I always say, but just to know about it. And maybe also your mother was narcissistic. Very often the mother of our twin flame was a narcissist or is a narcissist, and they carry this kind of mother wound then, to be also abandoned and rejected by their mother in a different way, right? So it's always about abandonment and rejection. Yeah, and we are then trying to make different choices, but then it's not only what we choose. Of course, it's important what we choose. That's the first step. But then it's also important, like, to release all the energy, and also to find a way to interact with your mom in the 3D as well. And this is really a little bit magic when you, well, I have to put this that way, when you release the energies, when you transform, start to heal, then your relationship with your mother automatically shifts. There's also some healing happening there. And the healing, you will notice that some healing took place when you were able to leave her to her experiences and to her choices, and at the same time still be there for her in an appropriate way, right? So I've been judging my mother forever and ever, because I I was just thinking, well, she shouldn't have made those choices. She could have done better, and maybe, yeah, but by judging her, this is not really a very good energy that I'm sending out, right? So it would be much more beneficial also in this process to deal with parents, to be in appreciation for who they are at the soul level, and also see that there are many, many things for the ancestry that need to be transformed, and that she is also in kind of a trap, right? And that she, with her story at the time that she was born, she could maybe not escape that those ancestral patterns, and also patterns in society and things like that. She couldn't escape, right? But now you can transform this and just appreciate what her story and her life, um, and leave this to her, and then see that there are so many things that come up that you can enjoy together, right? Those are maybe not the things that you wanted to enjoy with her, but still, when you free yourself up and also free your mother up, so don't expect anything from her, then all of a sudden a lot of things reappear out of the blue, and you will feel, yeah, basically by feeling joy, you will feel what is right. Yeah, so there are always shifts happening in those connections as well, and um, we have a lot of triggers, of course, also when it comes to family, and yeah, a lot of triggers. And sometimes it's really also appropriate to step back and not contact the parents for a while. It really depends, right? But it's never, well, we are sometimes guided to take harsh steps, and we also have to forgive ourselves for that, but we have to go with the flow, right? We are also learning, and we also have to respect ourselves and our own feelings. So if it feels better, like to step back a little bit, for example, from a relationship with your mother, then that's totally okay, right? Just do the work, the healing, the transformation, and observe. That's a big part of the journey, that we become this observer. And then we can also observe the relationship that we have with our mother. Yeah. So I believe there are so many things that I probably didn't cover. I don't know. But if you have something to add or an experience that you want to share, please put it in the comments. And as always, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can reach out to receive my offers via email. You find the email address in the description box. I'm also offering currently 15-minute free spots for those who have questions and want to check whether it would be a fit for them to work with me. Please apply via email for those spots. They are free. Of course, they're limited, but yeah, let me know and I see what I can do. And I've also created a free little webinar for clearing the energies. That's something that is very beneficial. I can recommend it a lot. I really wanted to give you something that you can do, a tool that you could use on a daily basis for you and your twin flame. And yeah, you can sign up below and I will send the webinar to you. Okay, so that's all for today. I wish you a wonderful day. Take care, and I see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.